Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at EOS, shall we? So, a favourite of the channel, and I suppose always one of those ones that brings out a lot of raw emotions. To be honest, I don't know why people watch videos of coins that they have such detest for. It always amazes me that I get people watching it, or at least just commenting on it and going, EOS is a dead coin, man. EOS is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's like cancer, man. And you know, they've been saying this all the way up. So it does impress me that haters who despise a coin still watch the videos. Maybe that's what trolls do. They go out of their way to watch things that they particularly don't like, to vent some rage and some frustration. But in this instance right now, I kind of understand where they're coming from. But at the same point though, in all seriousness, the EOS is notorious for these moves. Yeah, this was on the way down. You know, if you were a bear, you would be an unhappy bear for quite a long period of time. If you're a bull, you'll be an unhappy bull for quite a long period of time. The overall direction in this instance was down. The overall direction in this instance is up, but yeah, it's definitely a tool for whether you are a bull or a bear to make some significant money on, and I get it. You know, people don't like things if they just don't go up straight away, you know, all the way up. But remember, you know, we were talking about EOS buying into the accumulation zone, which was down here, and this is where the journey began. And my first take profit was it was about $13.50. Yeah, so I did take profit on some profit, a small portion I have to say, about 25%, using my usual, I don't know if you watch my channel, but my usual 25% take profit thing, which is basically a strategy that I use where I constantly take 25% at hallmarks, at milestones. And that process can go on forever, because you basically just take 25% of what's left and then 25% of what's left of that overall balance, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, the first 25% was taken around about here, around about this zone. But we all want to know what's going on from here, don't we? Well, I can tell you now, it doesn't look particularly good right now, I have to say. It's pretty bearish alongside the rest of the market. So the market, first of all, is being dictated by Bitcoin. Bitcoin's downtrend, first of all. And some of these altcoins, excuse me, are being propped up maybe by Ethereum, but EOS is one of those ones that kind of does its own thing, has its own chart going on. And in all fairness, if we look at it on the weekly, the overall buy signal that was the come on, give me some internet. The overall buy signal that was the one that we bought this based upon, is still actually in play. So this is this conversion baseline cross down here. So we were accumulating down here because we knew it was going to go, and I bought more down here when I saw this signal. So bought more after this downwards move. So this is still in play. It's only going to get cancelled out if the Chiku span touches the price action, or if this blue crosses this red. This will take a while for that to happen. You know, it's going to take a month and a half for something like that to happen. It's not going to happen overnight. But based on the chart structure alone, it's looking particularly weak on the daily and on the weekly. So just because it looks weak in the short term doesn't mean that it's not going to perk up again. But there's no signals or anything like this. You know, and this is something I've been saying. There's no signals to say that it's going to go anywhere, do anything right now. It's all based upon, first of all, the overall buy signal that was forged back down here. That buy signal is a continuation of a trend signal. It's not a we're going to the moon and we will smash right through it, end up on Mars, leave there, go to Saturn, and then probably end up on Uranus. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that. It's a trend that you play until the end of the trend is confirmed. And at the moment, the end of the trend isn't confirmed. So as far as that signal is concerned, it's still in play. That might sound surprising to many, and it does. And I wouldn't blame you for saying, hang on a minute. How can there be a buy signal that took place and then we came back down to where we launched from, which was a 75% retracement? How could that be? And I'll say, I don't know how it can be, to be honest. You trade the signals you are handed. You play the cards that you're dealt. And if you don't, I don't know what it is that you're doing trying to learn to trade, because all we've got is TA. And essentially what that is about narrowing down the odds. I make the analogy on my Patreon live streams a lot about how TA is it's not perfect. Of course it's not. It's like going to the bookies. Yeah, you're going to place a bet on a football match, and you know nothing about football. You know nothing about the teams. You just go in there and say, I want to make a bet on a football team winning, and that's that. And that's kind of ridiculous, really. That's ridiculous. You go in there, you look at the best odds, or you book it, yeah, placing a bet on the horses, you place one on the best odds because you've got most likely chance to win, and that's all TA is. We get these signals, we get a number of different things that we can use to narrow down the odds that put them in our favour, and still the odds are in our favour. You could argue another analogy with football, that right now what we're looking at is the football match is finished and it was 0-0, and now they're doing penalty shootouts, which again, you know, the odds are still technically in your favour as far as the bookkeepers are concerned, but it's pretty nail-biting stuff. So if we're looking at the TA side of things, we've got a slice right through the support here. So it's a rough slice. It's not really anything particularly to be massively in favour of. But yeah, we had launchpad here, we had supports, we had resistances, and supports. Sorry, here we had a resistance last week. We got a support last week, and we got a resistance this week. And this is rough and ready, but this is going to be, in my opinion, the overall trajectory of the basic support level. So worst case scenario, in my opinion, is that by the end of this year we should be about $10. Worst case scenario, we will have seen $10. I imagine we'll have seen a lot more by then. But yeah, $10 should roughly be met by the end of this year. Bottom line, as in this is our support band, right? And it's not perfect. Like I say, we had a fair few rejections. We had a whole month's worth of rejections over here. We still went on to make some significant moves. So at the moment, yeah, it's pretty early days still on this weekly chart, but you know, the buy signal is still in play. We're still okay to continue this trend until told otherwise. And it will take a while for that to cancel out and say, no, I'm not having it anymore. And by then, yeah, I mean, of course, it could be a completely failed trend, but for the moment it's not, and it's a deeper correction than I expected. I expected a pullback to this level here, about $7.29. That's where I expected the pullback to come down to naturally, without the market correcting. Naturally, I was expecting that. But it went way beyond that, because the market corrected alongside with the inevitable correction which would have taken place for EOS. So we would have had a massive 50% retracement on this coin from the next milestone here. But we were pushed down into over the edge, and so in my opinion, we're not really going to see any more bullish moves, like big bullish moves on this, until this area is reclaimed. $7.25 we could call it. That's got to be reclaimed on a weekly, and then some, and then we could start going into a more significant and steady uptrend. Now we think about this level here of a level of support, right? And I know that it's been resistance in the past, and it's been pretty nasty chart really. But if we think about it as support and resistance, if we hang around here and this ends up being our resistance, we keep bumping our head to it and bumping our head to it, and we come to this level here, we're talking about, you know, August time, that we should be reaching this level again. And so I'm not in favour of, you know, trying to map out something that's really not got any there's, like I say, there's only one thing this has got going for it, which is this long-term continuation trend signal on the weekly. But I'm not really one to say that just because we've got this and this, that this means that in August it's going to pump. But it kind of gives a rough guide of how patient sometimes you really have to be on these, based upon something that we do have that is real, which is this, which is a very good signal. These are the sort of signals that we wait for. In this instance, you know, you've been waiting since the creation of EOS for this signal. So we got the signal. We've been waiting a long time for it. We got it. And you play it, and I'm still prepared to play it because I believe in that signal. I know it's silly, but like I say, this is like a 2-to-1 at this stage, probably more than that. For that, this is, you know, at the moment, it's the favourite team. Your favourite team is down 2-0 at the moment, or something along those. Oh, it's not really. Well, I'm still in profit, obviously, from buying it. So that's not really fair. But the team isn't playing at its full potential, and we're only 20 minutes into the game. There's plenty of time for them to make a substitution or whatever, and pull their socks up and actually win this game properly, which is what I expect it to do. I mean, like I say, the chart is behaving the way it's expected to behave, but it's just been made a hell of a lot worse because of the market correction. So I'm not going to say, and I can't say, that this is going to launch anytime soon, and I would expect the majority of the summer will be pretty boring for altcoins and Bitcoin as a whole, but I'm okay with this chart still, and I still believe in the overall price prediction of a new all-time high this year, But it's not. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. The only thing that could really change it is that, and again, this is when you know that your coins are going sideways or down, that you start digging out fundamental analysis. But Block 1, the creators of EOS, are releasing what would appear to be an absolute massive killer of an exchange called Bullish. You probably all know this by now. The amount of investment, going into it is close to $500 billion. Whether that's in the form of crypto or upfront capital, in cash. The investors that are putting their money into this are the top dogs. This isn't just just another exchange. It's all based on the blockchain, so it's actually more similar to a DEX like Uniswap than it would be for something like Binance. But it's going to be much more like Binance in its presentation and the way that it's operated, but still be very much decentralized. So it is going to be a game changer, and everything's going to be completely transparent as it's all based upon the EOS blockchain. It's going to be pretty impressive stuff. That might make, I don't know if they're planning on making EOS as an exchange token, but the EOS token itself is going to be a major player in the background of the overall exchange. So it's going to be pretty impressive. So when that gets released, that's going to cause a big pump, I would imagine, just through the fundamental value of what EOS token would be at that stage. But based upon this chart, again, long-term continuation of trend on the weekly is still surprisingly in play, but absolutely every single other aspect of it is pretty manky, to be honest with you. Myself, I would definitely be interested in picking some up around $5. I'll definitely buy some more around $5, and if we come down further, I'll buy some more around these levels. Again, I believe in this trend, so I will buy more. Just as I bought more when we saw this big move down here, and we got this. So I was buying in the accumulation zone because I saw that this was going to move at some point soon. And when we saw this, I was very happy. When I saw that, I was slightly unhappy, but then when I checked again, I saw that, so I did buy more. I'll put my money where my mouth is again, and I will scale back into EOS if we start to make new lows on this one, because again, I do believe that this one's going to work out, based upon its chart and the fundamentals, which are somewhere down the line. The only thing that's really going to ruin this is if they suddenly decide that they're not going to go ahead with that exchange. That'll be a sad day for me. Otherwise, yeah, hold on to your horses, guys. Things can get pretty rough over the next few months, but I am in no way backing out of this overall trade. I will keep my money in right until the very bitter end, which would probably for me be about $2.80. I think is roughly the overall area that I bought most of mine in. At that stage, it would be. I don't like having losing trades. I will close at break even, but yeah. I'll leave it with you there. Hopefully that is, again, and not another massive depressing video that I've left out today. We've got to say it how it is. There's no point in me being a moon boy when the moon is, it's midday. Yeah, do you know what I mean? The moon is not out. But, it's the other side of the planet. But we all know what happens. The planet turns, the moon comes out again. But you're not going to see the moon at like, 12 o'clock midday on a Tuesday. It's just not going to happen. Anyway, I'm going to see you later. Thanks for watching, and take it easy.